the show where we talk about role-playing games and things like that, and Dungeons and Dragons. But we play some video games too. We're going to fix the camera again.
Oh, hey, well, I got you up. Do you mind grabbing me the 5th edition DM's guide?
We can do that.
Is that a tome that I could borrow for a day or three?
You can have it. Here you go. It's all yours. Use it to your heart's content. Welcome to Studio B, everyone. I am J-Man Weird.
And I'm Kelly.
And we are
Take20 D&D.
And we're playing a game.
We're playing a game.
And we're talking about Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, including this Dungeon Master's Guide. So I've never actually had this tome in my possession to leaf through it, so I'm pretty excited.
Spoopy.
Yeah, I'm trying to put together this pretty big campaign, and what sucks is I'm drawing maps and stuff like that for it and can't really release them on Twitter because some people are, hopefully going to be in that adventure at one point or another, so...
Probably not, but we will see. We'll see. We really do have to get more ladies at the table.
Yeah, well, that's always the herald cry of the TTRPG, right? I mean,
we want more ladies at the table.
I think if they started mentioning Comic-Cons with TTRPG events, there would be some kind of synergy there. But well, Lynette's joining us on side quest.
Ty's not.
Ty's not?
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ty and Lynette are joining us.
Okay, you just said Lynette. I was confused.
Yeah, but I mean, she's a lady, so...
That's good.
Yeah. And she role plays really well. And we did just play with Olivia, who also role plays brilliantly, much better than her boyfriend.
Trust me.
Brendan, if you're out there, pay attention to what Olivia's doing. She can teach you some things on how to role play. I know, but if he ever does,
yeah.
Or if anybody who knows Brendan says, "Hey, man, they mentioned you on the show,"
yeah, you should watch it.
Yeah, you should watch it.
This is where we ended last time.
And where are we in the game?
I don't have a clue, but I'm going to jump across to there.
I'll bet you if you check the last 4 episodes of the morning show where I asked you, where are you? You're like, I don't have a clue. Well, we should have called the episode as Take20 D&D, the morning show. I don't have a clue, part 4.
I don't have a clue, part 4.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a weird, stressful week this last week. Overcame some mental hurdles for sure, and...
That's good.
Starting to get back into my creative space, back into the creator crucible. I'm sure if you've seen the alien sculpture that I've been working on lately.
I was kind of hoping you were going to
stream last night?
Stream that, because the attention to detail you have on the tail alone is absolute. I showed DL,
okay,
and she was like, "Wow, that's pretty good."
Yeah,
that to get a wow, that's pretty good out of her.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah. It's like that's pretty good. Like
that's awesome. Thank you for that. That's that's all the motivation I need to finish the tale. I will be live streaming today in the Creator Crucible. So, and I have about a section about this long on the tail still to do. So,
and the hands.
Yeah, and the hands. I'm actually on my way to Michael's after here to pick up another block of that Sculpey clay, because I tried to do it all in 1 pound of clay, and I almost got there. I do have almost enough for the hand, and I'd kind of be able to finish it, but there were some body parts that would come off looking a little bit odd.
You're not going to put a boar-flavored phylactery on it, are you?
No. No, it's a no phylactery xenomorph sculpture.
I just edited that out.
It's funny because we were like talking about phylacteries the other day and how close it sounds to
phallic.
Prophylactic.
And phallic.
The prophylactic phallic phylactery.
Yeah.
I am sure there is an adventure written somewhere with that in it.
Well, I definitely had to edit that out.
Yeah.
And I just finished doing that.
Nice.
That's how. And I had to run all the audio.
Yep.
through Audacity to turn it into stereo.
Yes.
So I'm not doing that.
So I knew for a fact that there was going to be third-party mixing software involved, and I'm glad you're familiar with Audacity.
Yeah.
That's helpful.
But I won't be doing. We'll be using the single mic, which has 4 channels, which records in stereo.
Yep.
We'll be doing the single mic until we can figure out how to better use the other mics.
Right.
There's got to be a better way. We're just one step away. We are literally one step away from getting it. Look at the bones in here.
And then what we got to do is take away some of the editing chore from you. I think that you need to.
No, I'm fine.
I think you need to do the intro, the outro, and then really just like, is there a point during gameplay where you feel it should be edited? That's what you should be doing, is saying, oop, mark that down, and then when you get to your editing later, there's 2 or 3 points that you have to edit out. You know exactly where they are and what they were. You just write a little note. That's it. Like, take it from video producers. That's exactly how they do it. I mean,
Yeah,
if you
no,
watch
that's exactly what I do.
Yeah, perfect.
So like,
but instead of rewatching the entire episode, and then taking out things like that brilliant Def Leppard play, that was like,
yeah, no, that's got to go.
Brilliant.
It'll go in the outtakes.
It'll
go straight to Patreon.
Check the outtakes then. Check the outtakes on Patreon. There is
So-
good reason to hop on Patreon now. Because
All
if
the
you like,
outtakes will be on Patreon.
yeah, if you like impromptu Def Leppard medleys at the TTRPG table, check out the outtakes. Hop on Patreon.
Yeah.
So what is do you even know like what your overall goal is at this stage in the game?
Here,
Yeah.
I got to go up to that thing there and look at it.
Oh.
That's my goal right now.
Okay.
Otherwise, I have no real goals. Like my whole life.
Well, you do now. You may be shifting home base.
We may be shifting home base
That's
over
exciting.
to 2 doors down from Kelly, and creating a new studio there, which is already actually built for us.
Even more appropriate than this area, I think.
It's smaller. It's smaller than I first imagined. I couldn't. When I first looked at it, I was like, when I first explained it, I thought this is actually a bigger space, but that is a more enclosed space. So when we put up the sound stuff, the panels, it'll be like,
Silent.
it'll be silent.
Yeah.
Like in here right now, it's very echoey. Right?
Yeah. So did you catch any of the Riffs game on Tuesday?
I did.
Yeah.
I tuned in at the beginning.
What did you think of the?
It's very, like, Riffs is very, like I said, Riffs is very, whatchamacallit?
Different. I mean,
Gamma World.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't have any experience with Gamma World. I had looked at some of the cover art stuff earlier, and I was like, wow, that is like straight out of the late '70s, early '80s. So it was probably before my time. I think I was just scraping into Atari right around then.
Yeah. Good morning, Draconis.
Good morning, Draconis.
And everybody else who's joined us this morning. Welcome to the show. I'm Jason.
I'm Kelly.
We are Take20 D&D, and you're watching Take20 Plays a Game.
Playing Shadows of Tomb Raider, and actually discussing how happy I am to have J-Man tossed me this Dungeon Master's Guide for 5e, so I get to leaf through that for the first time. Pretty excited.
I'm actually doing things that I wasn't doing before in this, looking for different little stuff here and there, and just trying to go through it and find some different things. I can't remember where we're at in the game. Don't really care. I'm having fun, and that's all that matters.
Oh, and I just realized, like, Draconis mentioned that he can't see the Thursday games anymore because his schedule just doesn't allow that. So if
He will be able to catch them on YouTube.
not only that, is I'll always put the most recent Twitch episode on the website.
Yes, and
So-
you'll be able to see it unadulterated.
So you can actually go there right now and see Thursday's episode our little D&D game, unedited, unabashed.
Yes.
While it's there,
With all its bruises and.
Yeah, that's right. It'll only be there for the next 2 weeks, and then it gets replaced with whatever new episode is there, and you'll have to find the old ones on Patreon or Twitch.
You'll find the outtakes on Patreon.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to watch those and laugh hysterically, or
Laugh
cry.
Or cry. Yeah.
Yeah. It won't be good. I'm not going to lie to people. The outtakes are funny, but they are like, why? Just why, guys?
Yeah.
That's what you'll say.
There's
to
a lot of Brendan in the outtakes, I think. A lot of Brendan pulled out of the outtakes, even.
There is. Do you remember what we talked about not talking over one another?
We tried.
There's lots.
We tried. Yeah, we tried so hard on Thursday. But when you spend, I think it's a lot of that is just the first game back too, because everybody hasn't seen each other in a long time. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of, oh, friends. I know. I was excited to see everybody. It was good to get together and play our little D&D game again. So what are you doing there? Or are you really gonna squeeze through that?
Well,
that
she's not. She's not a big girl.
Tantamount to suicide. That is. Yeah, right now I'd be panicking. Like, there is no way I am going forward. I need to find an air bubble.
Here it comes.
Like that.
Oops.
Yeah. And then you get up there and it's just solid carbon dioxide.
Whoops. Nitrogen.
Yeah.
It's a nitrogen-rich environment. It's all carbon monoxide. Whoops.
Yeah, plus donate to the Patreon and watch the changes these guys make. It's been fun. Thanks, Draconis. Definitely appreciate that. And subscribe on Twitch, of course. Every Twitch subscriber really helps as well.
Yeah, everything we can do to create more content will happen because of you guys.
Yeah, actually, the new website, the new mics, mixer, all the new setup that we've got to make the show a little bit better is all thanks to Patreon supporters and Twitch subscribers.
Yes.
So thank you.
It's up to you guys. Yeah, it's you guys who are key to all of this.
You know what the best part is we're all getting more TTRPG in our lives. We're all getting to play more campaigns and enjoy more adventure.
And we get to create more content.
Yeah.
And that's the goal for Take20 D&D, man, is to create more content
and more quality content.
High quality content, yes. That is the aim. So I don't really know what I'm doing, but that's okay. I'll look at this again. And sounds like my daughter is home from 14 days in Florida.
Oh, wow.
That's a good thing. What is this? I can't anymore. I can't carry anymore.
Now, is that a lever or eggs or what are we looking at?
It's mushrooms. I want to cross that bridge. But I don't know how. I'm gonna look at the map. This is a crypt. It's like Cryptosporidium crypt.
Cryptosporidium. Don't drink the water. And what do you have going on for the weekend?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm going to edit until my ears fall off.
So it's a lot of editing, man.
Which isn't that bad, actually, because you guys are actually much better at it than you have been. And it's become, I'm much better at editing as well.
You mean much better at not talking about it?
Yes.
Well, we did try. And it'll get better for sure.
Okay.
I mean, you could see the subtle nods of recognition and the looks from each other when we were about to, and just like caught ourselves about to talk over each other.
Now, if you were a game designer,
yeah,
and
I am a game designer.
That's a matter of fact, you are. And what game are you designing?
We're designing SAC.
And explain that to us.
Well, let's finish your point first.
If you're a game designer, are you able to climb that wooden structure over there?
The one that you just passed?
Yes. That I wanted to climb, but I couldn't because, well, game designers are evil and mean.
Well, it's also not Assassin's Creed. It's Tomb Raider. So, I mean, on Assassin's Creed, I'm sure you'd be able to leap up on top of a single post and have all these extra acrobatics.
The point is, I want to climb a simple wooden structure that looks like it could probably be climbed.
Only if it's game relevant, I suppose. But I would still, even if it wasn't game relevant, I would make it interactive enough to climb on top.
Like, it's supposed to be open world, right?
If you've got this much terrain already and this much detail in the environment, then why wouldn't you let somebody at least hop on and dance around that particular item? Unless, of course, the architecture of that item would allow the character to access an area ahead of time, or access an area that they shouldn't be allowed to access at that particular
Well, that takes all the fun out of it.
Well, if it can be used for a cheat, though, I would exclude it.
If you can't cheat, it's not worth playing.
No, that was like my big claim to fame when I was a kid. Don't eat the mushroom. Yeah, I don't know what kind of mushroom that would have been. I mean, when I was like growing up and stuff, it was like I didn't want to cheat, didn't want to use cheats, didn't want to use cheat codes.
She's gonna hit her head.
Do you remember the Game Genie when that came out for Nintendo?
Yes,
Yeah.
vaguely.
Yeah, it's a cartridge into a cartridge, and then you insert that giant cartridge into the Nintendo, into the Nintendo, and it adds a bunch of cheat codes and stuff. Essentially, you punch in a 6, 8-digit number, and the Game Genie works its magic, and now you've got invincible lives. Actually, the only cheat I remember using was up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, BA, start.
Yeah.
On Contra, Gradius, pretty much any of the Konami, like the main, like there were 3 Konami titles I think where that was applicable.
Yeah.
I wonder, everybody else remember that famous code? Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, BA, start.
The fact that you can quote it now,
Right.
it's
Legendary.
Impressive. It's impressive.
Yeah, the code itself is legend. I mean, it's one of the most famous game cheat codes imaginable. And as a matter of fact, there are some nods like that. I'm not going to say that code in particular will work because there's no A, B in SAC, but there are some very affectionate nods to some of that classic game nostalgia all throughout SAC. So it's not just SAC, if we haven't already mentioned, that's the game that myself and my team are working on. It's about a sarcastic little pillow that gets accidentally brought to life, imbued with magic wielding, weapon wielding, spell casting, monster smashing abilities and sent on a quest to destroy evil. But it's also filled with a ton of nostalgia, a ton of pop culture references. Like I myself am 45, I'll be 46 this year, so I grew up in the early eras of video games. Mm-hmm. And I mean, there's some nods to games you would not even imagine there would be nods to games in this game. So I'm sure that people from the last 30 plus years of video game history are going to love, and movie history, because there's some sci-fi and classic horror movie moments tucked into the game. In ways you might not imagine. So look forward to that when we actually get the game published. It's going to be a while. We're still working on
it. It will happen.
Yeah, we're hoping for crowdfunding launch in February. So stay tuned to Take20 for announcements on that, or sact.ca.
Yep. Absolutely. It's going to be so much fun.
So you got the earbud in. What's going on with this dialogue here?
I can't really honestly hear it. I've got it turned down, like way down, because I really don't want to listen to it. It's just part of the guy. People watching will know.
Draconis, yeah, the whole blowing on the Nintendo cartridge to get it to work. That was awesome.
Yeah, had on blow both of them and then smack them and put them in the console.
Blow on that, blow on the Game Genie, click on it, blow on it again, put it in, push down, pull it out, blow on it again, bang it a couple of times. Put it back in. But at the same time, Nintendo made some of the most rugged controllers ever. I mean, I threw those things. I chewed on. I mean, I was like so frustrated, Drew. Like, I think that's a lot of.
Now you throw one of these, and you're going to
it's
be
done.
out.
Yeah, if that even accidentally slides off the end of the.
But these are relatively, in today's terms, even this controller is relatively inexpensive.
Yes. Well, $50.
Right.
50, $60. And they are like way more advanced now than they used to be, so there's a lot more smaller components that can break. There wasn't a lot to an early Nintendo controller. A small circuit board and a cable.
Yep.
Hell yes, throw them, smack them, squeeze the Nintendo book of beating. It sure did. Rugged stuff.
I broke more PS3 controllers. I would throw them against the wall over there.
Oh, yeah.
I fixed lots of spots.
Did you? Oh, really? I thought you would have eventually just established some kind of back-catching net there.
No,
so
I threw them, man. It would be like, you mother trucking.
It's so funny how a video game can take a normal, sane human being from zero to just losing their mind in seconds.
That 0 to insanity.
What was your most frustrating game that you remember? Something that sticks out like
recently?
No, not even recently. I mean, all time most frustrating controller breaking and biting moment of video game history for you.
I want to say playing. Assassin's Creed Online, and knowing that I was better than guys who were using cheat codes.
Oh, like they were using like cheat codes in the online version?
Yeah.
Oh.
So you were playing 1-on-1, and knowing that somebody had a better server, they were getting. But I knew they were coming after me. I would turn to like the bitch slap them.
Yeah.
And they'd kill me. And I'm like,
it just happened over and over.
That's one of the most recent ones. I would get so angry.
Yeah, I think that early stages for me, Gradius was a good one.
There's some
Contra, definitely, like we mentioned it earlier.
God of Thunder.
Or God of War.
God of War.
Is that a tough one?
The first one, I think, was tough. I was pretty angry at Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, that was a.
No, I remember getting seriously frustrated with Contra. I mean, and this was before the whole up, up, down, down cheat code came out, or was public knowledge anyway. That game was frustrating. I mean, you'd be walking along, bam, dead. Walking, go to jump, bam, end up like just missing the jump by a hair. Ooh, Mega Man. That was another frustrating
I didn't
one.
play Mega Man.
Mega Man's frustrating. Great
Really?
game, but so frustrating. Yeah,
Mario Brothers.
Yeah, the first Mario Brothers.
Yes.
Trying to get a handle on jumping and running and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, that actually was. I'm pretty sure I probably chewed a controller once or thrice playing that game.
And my wife would just play it.
Mario.
My wife would play it just like, meh, no problem.
I think everything helps when you can stay calm. That game's definitely designed to tweak a few impulses.
The first Assassin's Creed made me angry too, but it did weird things to my eyes.
Yeah, I'm actually playing. I'm about. I say playing, but it's been a few months, and I'm only about 20 minutes into the first Assassin's Creed. I have not played any Assassin's Creed.
See that right there? That little flash of light? See that? Right there. That's where we're going.
Okay. You gotta keep an eye out for these little flashes like that.
Yes, because that's the gobbledygook stuff. That's the goodies. You gotta look around, man. You gotta explore a little bit where you can, because it's very. Oh, see this? Look at this. Look at this. I didn't even.
Honestly, didn't think Riffs was going to be something that I would get back into. I remember checking it out and being like, curious.
Hey, look at this, folks. Oh, come on in, Jen.
Welcome back.
Nice sweater. You're a Slytherin? Yeah. There you go. Come say hi to everybody. Jen's back. And all the way from Florida from Disney Parks, is my Mandalorian.
It's weird when you say Florida, all I picture is crocodiles and senior citizens. How was it when you were there? crocodile.
Alligators in senior citizens.
Ah, there we go. Alligators. Yeah,
And
that's
rednecks.
Yeah.
And rednecks.
Yeah.
Rednecks.
I mean, it just seems like a place that,
You mean
for
all
some
my
reason,
cousins?
reptiles and people go to retire.
Thank you. That's awesome.
That's a solid case. That's
Yeah, I'm gonna put that one. I'm gonna put that one on here.
That's sweet.
So that's gonna be awesome. I
Oh,
have this really cool case that's got this.
I'm not sure if we
thing
can
here,
show actual
but I don't care.
Disney stuff off. This is Steer Weirs and the Handalorian. We're not actually using names on here.
Yeah, I don't care.
That's awesome.
It's my new phone case, and
I hear that's some of the best Star Wars going. The Mandalorian.
I watched it. I watched the whole
I
thing.
have not watched.
I'm not gonna. I watched it because I have a friend who has Disney, and
But don't spoil it for me. I hear it's taking it right back to the classic, like Wild West meets sci-fi. George Lucas's original vision for.
it comes right after the fall of the Empire, like right after that era. Like, so it's as the new Republic is building up, and it's right in that era.
Okay.
So it's really good.
Yeah, I look forward to checking that out.
What's that?
The Rise of the Resistance ride.
Oh,
Phenomenal.
Oh, really?
Rise of the
It's
Resistance.
So good.
Oh.
Like, you could literally ride it 100 times over and still have a different ride experience.
Is it only in Florida?
No, they have it in California.
Oh, sweet. That's awesome. Well, that's a heck of a
People lining
review.
up at 4:30 a.m. to get a boarding pass
Wow.
for this ride because there's no actual line. You get a boarding group and you line up at 4:30 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's got to be a pretty good ride. I mean, I went on the Tron ride when I was at Disney Shanghai. and
Which they have that coming too.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was like, when you sit on that, like, and it's like, how fast does it really go? And it
Yeah.
just launches you, and you're just like pinned to this bike.
Tron.
Yeah, they
Tron.
had the ride vehicles for
Yeah.
Tron sitting out.
With a light cycles thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're building the same ride
Oh,
in
sweet.
Florida right now.
That's awesome. I wish that, you know, I know there's not a huge population in Canada, but come on, Disney. It's like the one country you're really skipping out on here.
Well, where are you going to build it? You got to build it in Van.
I'm going to build it in Edmonton just because we want it here. Never mind that weather thing. I mean, sure, it's minus 30 right now with the wind chill. Actually, I think it's... How cold is it today? Okay,
It's-
It
Google.
was like minus 12.
It's
What's the
freaking
temperature
cold.
today?
It's freaking cold.
Minus 19. That's before the wind chill. We're looking at a low of minus 28.
With the wind chill.
No, before the wind chill. That's the low today. That's the low before wind chill. So it's actually going to be probably closer to minus 45, 42 to 45.
How do I jump
Celsius.
over there? How do I jump over there?
Liked Mandalorian. Took an episode or two to get into it, but yes, very good. That's awesome.
I vote Vancouver. Yeah, absolutely Vancouver.
Jump carefully.
Jump carefully, yeah. I don't even know.
I mean, this predicament you're in right now would be enough to...
There's actually a Tomb Raider.
I would be crapping myself.
Guess what? I found out how to get over there. There is a Tomb Raider game out there. Okay, I'm gonna die a horrific death, and they're gonna put me. We're gonna go back to this. Trust me. Anyway, the long and the short of it is, yeah, I would be all over a Disney park in Vancouver. That is inexpensive,
Well,
local.
No, that's it. You're done. You said you wanted Disney Park, and then you said you wanted it inexpensive. That is the end of your story and fantasy right there.
Well, it's inexpensive in that I don't have to travel.
Well, if it's in Vancouver, that's travel. It's still going to cost you.
Yeah, but I don't have to go to the U.S. where my dollar isn't worth jack.
Right. Yeah, my experience with Disney theme park was interesting. Long lineups, and really you're only seeing about 8. You're only going on about 8 rides. If you start at the beginning of the day and stay all day, that might be the amount you get on. I guess there's other people that had to skip the line passes and stuff like that. But I'm not sure that they were doing much better. Oh, and we've got side quest starting this week again.
Side quest is starting this week.
2 new players, and we're back after the holidays on that adventure, heading towards Baldur's Gate.
Yes, with 2 new characters, more mayhem.
Look at all the skulls in this room. This is oh wow. That was creep-tastic, eh? Sliding down a skull slide.
I've never been in this place before. This is new for me. She says, quite the grim welcoming committee. So, there's a rope there. Look at that dude hanging there. I tried to grab it. I'm in a different place. I think this is a secret tomb.
Oh, I'm actually hosting it.
There you go. It's a good thing.
That's a lot of faith in an old contraption.
It worked. Beside this, I've never been in this place. I missed this the first time around.
New gear acquired even.
There you go. Wooden greaves.
A mighty jaguar warrior wore them once. That's what it said.
Now I have to find my way out. But not before I kick this pot over. She used to just like give him a boot.
So, well, yeah, actually, we were talking on Discord about doing a Q&A after the episode. So, during the episode, we were thinking that anybody watching could actually mention if they've got a favorite moment from that episode. So, at the end of the game, when we're done,
Yeah.
just somebody in chat, and we don't care who it is, or if there's multiple questions or whatever, or multiple moments, that's great too. Just mention what your favorite moment was, and we'll do a little short Q&A on what the heck the thought process was behind. Well, for example, Draconis, I think, was actually mentioning the moment where, I can't remember who it was, turned into a T-Rex right when we were in the, we were dealing with those energy draining pillars and the daises, the stone dais or whatever.
Where the energy draining pillars, where was that?
Remember they had people prisoner in the center of these 4 pillars on the
Yeah. I
Yeah.
remember that.
And then at one point we fought somebody and turned into the dragon, the black dragon.
Yes.
And turned into a T-Rex. And we had a T-Rex and a dragon going at it in and amongst all these pillars. Like, do you remember that?
Yep.
Yeah. So we had a question from the floor essentially was, what was the thought process on polymorphing into a T-Rex, to deal with a dragon in that particular moment, or in that tight enclosure while we're at it.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was bonkers, especially when you actually set those 2 figures on the table and get a good idea of what size you're dealing with. It's like, yeah, this is too much beast for one room.
I now have a T-Rex sound effect.
On Elgato?
For editing.
Just hit it.
I just load it up into the editing, so when you guys polymorph into a T-Rex, it'll be there to.
Is that an oft-occurring thing? I mean, this is the first time for me ever that anybody's polymorphed into anything dinosaur related in a D&D game.
When they were in the White Plume Mountain, they had a T-Rex moment.
What happened then?
You have to watch it.
Oh, what episode?
I don't remember what episode it was.
I actually find that really surprising because you're usually a veritable cornucopia of episode information.
I want to say Well, it's easy to find if you go to, because what I do is on YouTube, I'll put the episodes. Um, so what I'll do is I usually put the episode module cover on the front of the YouTube video, usually. So, like, Horde of the Dragon Queen has a Horde of the Dragon Queen.
Right.
White Plume Mountain has a White Plume Mountain.
Yeah.
Sunless Citadel has Sunless Citadel.
Right.
And you'll know inside of that somewhere is, but it was in White Plume Mountain. I want to say somewhere episodes 30s.
Is White Plume Mountain an actual written module?
Yeah, it's from back in the day.
That's what I thought.
And I put it. Actually, I made White Plume Mountain. Because it's not in the Forgotten Realms lore, but I put it in the Forgotten Realms lore.
Is that Dragonlance?
I think not Dragonlance, but
Greyhawk?
Greyhawk. I think.
Okay.
Anyway, the long and the short of it is, I made White Plume Mountain. I put it in the same place as where Mount Hotnu is, near Neverwinter, just north and a little bit east of Neverwinter.
Well, Neverwinter's full on
And
Forgotten Realms.
that's where Bruder Battlehammer's his homeland is right in there. Where his clan sort of originated from.
Mm-hmm.
Now his actual base is further east and north, up in the mountains, kind of near the spine of the world.
Yep.
Just outside of the marshes. But there's tunnels in the underworld that lead to this place, and it was right in that area. So I really enjoyed putting it there.
So
look at this. She says, I'm gonna have to climb out of here. So.
And how do you do that? Counterweight that thing that dropped down in the first place? Gotta take the hard road up. Oh, there you go. There must be no counterweight or something that you hit to have that thing go back up. You actually got to take the long, hard road up.
Yeah, there's a lot of this in this game, in this whole thing.
Oh, so you have to do that before you start climbing.
Okay.
Or actually from the top of the cage. Will you die if you fall from that height?
Yep.
Really?
Nope. So actually, they do stay in place.
Yeah, you just gotta hop on the cage.
But if I was a really
there you
mean
go.
game designer,
Yeah,
I would make them go back up.
that would be.
That would be really rude.
Yeah. That's
And
the
there's
kind of thing-
games that do that, and I think that's really rude.
Yeah, if you think that doesn't get caught by players, I don't know why you did that.
Oh, I forgot to pull the damn thing. Oh, what's this?
Another one.
Hey, see, I didn't even press sideways. It went sideways.
Story of
Ah!
my life. Wacka
Waka waka waka. Ozzy. There we go. Out of all the realms there are, and I didn't play in Greyhawk and I didn't play in Eberron, but I read the books.
And whatever happened to Greyhawk? You don't hear much of that anymore.
It just disappeared. It's a great realm to play in, though. The good stories in there, really great stories in there. Really very impressive little realm. I guess when I was in the 80s, we did play in Greyhawk a little bit.
Yep.
Yes, I would have to say yes. We played in Greyhawk because the DM I was playing with then, um, he he was the one running the game, so he had some Greyhawk things going on.
Yeah, I didn't actually start playing until I think 88, 89.
Yeah, and I started in '81.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I was there at the beginning, like '74.
Wooden dice and papyrus, or
Pretty much, man. Pretty much. Like, I had a dice fetish back then, but I don't now. It's like,
on the dice back then. Oh my
and there was
goodness.
dice everywhere. Like, you could buy dice anywhere.
Oh, but
They
were
have dice
crap.
just. Oh, they were good.
No, they were
Lots
crap.
of great. There was metal dice back then.
Really?
Yes.
I don't remember any of that. Yeah, but the you know the dice I remember is the original D&D, like
Yes.
first gen D&D. Those blue plasticky dice that came with the original
So
box set.
Yeah,
the
and
Red
then
Dragon
you
box
had the
set.
you had a red dice as well.
Oh,
And what you did
remember.
was you put in you put you
I
put
loosened it.
Yeah, always the follow up.
they put a crayon in, and you had to color in your own numbers. Now, did you know how to cheat with those dice?
No.
You would take lead, put it in the crayon, weight your dice a certain way, and you would make sure the lead was the opposite of the D20, so you
yeah.
could get crit 20s all the time.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Cheat codes for original D&D.
So yeah, you could. There's things you could do, guys. And then they stopped putting the crayon in, so you couldn't cheat anymore.
That's funny.
So I never did. I didn't really think of it. I wasn't smart enough to think of that stuff back then.
But caught on to the fact later.
I caught on to the fact later on. So I don't know what I was supposed to collect up here.
Well, there's
The gold,
well,
I guess.
Yeah, it seems like it.
But anyway, back over here and across here, and we'll climb up.
Oh, going even further up.
Back into a hole,
This seems
which
safe.
will drop down.
Ooh, outside. Sunshine.
It's gonna be a bright. See, this is where we went in. That's where we come out. Good.
I actually had somebody ask me what I'm going to sell that alien sculpture for. It just seemed like such an odd question. I was like,
Yeah,
never
I remember
considered
that.
Selling it.
Why not?
I don't know. Like, I mean, there's 10 hours into the thing so far. I think. You know, how do you even work that out to a price? I mean, I'm not a professional sculptor by any means. So I've never sold a piece of art like that.
I worked it out with. I asked Michael what to charge for my,
Oh yeah,
and he's really inexpensive.
yeah.
Like if you buy a mini and you live in the UK and want to buy painted minis,
Yeah.
buy them from Michael Mortar. It's the least expensive place you'll get a painted mini in the UK. And it'll be the best. You'll have the best of the best. Whoops, sorry guys.
Yeah, Michael Mortar does do an amazing job. And lots of people that have been learning underneath Michael have been doing an incredible job too. I've seen just
Yeah.
phenomenal minis being painted. You see that the, what is it, Hero Ford just coming out with painted minis now?
Yeah, and Michael made a comment on that.
I did, I saw Michael's
You know
comment.
what?
I agree with Michael on that one.
I don't think it's going to hurt the mini painting industry.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I don't know. I think it will in some fashion, and it won't in another. I mean, there's a big difference, I think, between the mass-produced color copies of stuff.
How bad do you want to sell it? $50 per hour sounds.
Price it out as sale and make them pay. Yeah, I mean, $50 an hour seems like a reasonable rate. You know, it's a lot of attention to detail and stuff like that. So then you're looking at a model with 10 hours in it. You know, there's $500 for a model, and that's not something that I think I would feel comfortable selling that particular model for. I think it's too expensive. You can go out and get some really phenomenal stuff from Sideshow and a lot of those figure places that way outperforms what I've done for probably half the price. And I realize that they're mass produced and stuff like that.
Yes, they're mass produced. They're put into a mold and pressed, and
right.
Yours
so
is done by hand.
Yeah, and it's a one-off, a one of a kind, I suppose. So it does have that going for it.
Okay, we're back to here.
I'll have to think on it.
So, like, you think about it. You look at models that you purchase in store. I seen Batman models for $500.
Yeah.
In store.
Yeah, and actually they're about the same size too. They're
piece of plastic.
Yeah.
So they punch them out 1,000 at a time.
Yeah, and then sell them for $500 a pop.
And sell them for $500 a pop, like.
But there was an original artist that was hired to compose that model.
Right, and what was he paid?
Yeah, and I'm sure that he was probably paid anywhere from $50 to $100 an hour too.
Was he, or was he from China?
I don't think so. I think there's a lot of artisans that contribute to places like SideQuest and other figures the world over. I mean, there's some great artists everywhere, all over the world. So it's just whoever wants to put in, the effort to go to places like Sideshow and get, figures made, or submit their figures or their sculptures, or who gets hired by those places. I mean, I could definitely see doing sculpture full time. It is such a zen experience.
It's like painting minis. Oh man,
for sure.
I didn't want to paint my minis until I started painting them, and now that's all I want to do is paint minis.
It's such a really
not all the time, but
set your price worth. Yeah, for sure.
I wanna paint. I want to just do this, yak and talk on the internet, and
Direct Cost does make a point. The expensive part should be left up to the buyer to decide. You're right. Maybe I just charge $500, and that's what I feel the value is worth. And whoever wants to pay for it, if they're going to pay that price, then they're really going to appreciate the effort that went into that piece.
Exactly.
They're really going to appreciate the art.
But yeah, if somebody offers you money for it, sell it.
Well, yeah. I mean, at this point, I would definitely churn these out to sell them and make amazing models all the time to sell them if I thought there was a market for it. I mean, from me personally, a lot of great sculptors out there, so I don't.
Just about died again.
I'm not in the same caliber yet, but I'm working on it. So keep supporting the Creative Crucible. Keep stopping by, watching the shows.
Yeah.
Super important. Helping artists like myself, keep doing what we love.
Yep, absolutely.
So you're gonna make it over to that roof part?
Right there.
That's insane. You gotta run and jump and get that. Oh, you got a rope thing. I totally forgot about that. I thought you were gonna have to tink tink.
And look I've already got my special boots of climbing.
I mean, that's just an insane, and the shale that you're hanging onto there, it looks like shale. Totally unreliable rock.
She thought I was gonna follow her, but look, there's another gobbledygook.
That is one thing that struck me surprising in that Rift game was they named the goblin language Gobbly. That was the only thing that caught me. It was like, you could not have thought of a better name than Gobbly?
Right? There's a challenge tomb nearby. Oh, look, it's right here.
What is that was going on there, that blue?
I checked for traps. So we gotta swim. So we'll put the speed swim on.
It's beautiful under here.
We're gonna watch for piranha.
At least to give you an indication. So yeah, I'm probably gonna go home and pour up some more coffee here in a few minutes, and sit down at the Creative Crucible. And well, actually, first I gotta go to Michael's, pick up some more clay, and then I'll be back in the Creative Crucible. I'm probably working on that for a few hours. I will be live streaming,
That'll be your Saturday afternoon, folks.
That'll be my Saturday afternoon as well. So, you know,
That's
join
what you
me
want
for
to be a
that.
part of.
Yeah,
You
join
want to
me
be
for that, for sure.
on. You want to be all over that show, folks, because it's an absolute blast to sit there and watch. It's actually nice to have it on and to watch. It is honestly watching somebody do art. Remember watching Bob Ross?
Oh man, Bob Ross is a legend.
But anybody doing artwork.
Yeah.
I can sit and watch a guy carve something out of a chunk of wood with his chainsaw and get the same Bob Ross experience.
Right. Well, you know, Bob Ross sure he had the Bob Ross way. You know, often imitated.
Never duplicated.
Never duplicated.
Except for his son. His son was a lot like him.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't see too much. of it.
His son did a couple of shows in Bob's, like when
In
Bob would
memory
go on
of Bob,
vacation
yeah. Oh, okay.
and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, I was actually watching an episode of Bob Ross last week on the Twitch Bob Ross channel.
Yes, I watched. I'll tune into those quite
And,
often.
you know, it's amazing how happy and positive that guy is.
Well, you got to understand where he comes from,
He's the Fred Rogers of the art world.
right?
Literally the Fred Rogers of the art world.
Who doesn't love Fred Rogers?
Right.
I loved Fred.
Well, Fred,
When I
I think
first-
Fred said, everybody just wants to be loved.
Yeah, right? Everybody just wants to be loved. And if we just can't love people, care about them, then what's the use?
Yeah, what the heck's the point?
Yes.
And if we can't do it while loving some great TTRPG games, then,
Right.
you know, what are we doing here?
What are we doing
So
here?
what do we got going on this week? We have side quest on Thursday, and that's at
Look at
6:30 to 9 p.m. and Mountain Standard. That's on Thursday. On Wednesday, well, we have Creator Crucible episodes all week. So on and off as I get time, I'm definitely going to be live streaming. So keep your eye on Twitch and Facebook for the live stream announcements. I'm sorry they're impromptu. Creative Crucible does have a schedule, but you know, creative happens as
As it
creative
happens.
happens. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
just stick to Twitch
It
and
is as
social media.
creative does.
You'll find out when I'm live streaming, and you can catch the episodes after the fact on the website and on Twitch, of course.
So I just had to swim through here and find out what's going on. So I'm really kind of lost. I've never been in this part of the tomb either.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Ooh, was that your stomach? Did you just eat breakfast?
oh no, I just coffee, right?
I'll bet the mic picked that up.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Tum tum. Our
I picked
the
it
other mic, will pick it up. The Zoom mic will pick it up.
Right. Yeah, I gotta do something about my camera quality and stuff. I might use my cell phone today. What am I at here? 80% charge. So I'll probably charge my cell phone and use it as my primary camera for shooting, since it'll shoot in 1080.
I'm going over to. I'm actually going over to the source today to source
Camera?
yes. So when we get what is this? Have I been in here?
Looks like a cenote. Is that particular? Cenote? Or just a hole filled with water.
Was I in here already? Yes.
To be honest, it all looks the same from an observer's point of view.
This is where I came in. I'm wondering if this is where I gotta go out.
The detail in this game is mind-boggling.
Yeah, that's where I went back down. But I'm looking up here. Can I get out there? No, I cannot. So you go back out the way you came in.
So is SideQuest the only show we have going on this week, other than the next one?
Yes.
And Creator Crucible.
Yes. Unless you have.
No, I really got to start working on finishing up the Chronicles of Cryalis, and I've got to. I'm still looking for players, so.
And we're doing that here.
Oh, I'd love to do it here on a
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chronicles. The only reason why I say I can't play in it is because I gotta leave time for family.
Oh yeah. Well, that's
So,
important. Well,
um,
that's why I was getting the Studio C set up at on my side so that
Yeah.
I could host it there.
but
So I might even just borrow your rigs and just host it over there. We'll
yeah,
borrow a camera.
we'll just take the cameras over. Okay.
Well, I'd only need one. I found the last time I could use my cell phone. There's a really good app called Droid Cam. You haven't heard of it? Turns your smartphone. Oh, gotta go. Thanks for stopping in, Draconis.
Right on.
Good to see you.
Good to see you again.
It's actually about time that we actually
Said goodbye.
said goodbye as well.
Let's get a breath of air. Let's go back down, do some more swimming,
Get into a spot you can actually save it in.
and get back to the surface where we started.
See, I got a lot of work on SACT to do this week. And this weekend, actually.
We're back out of the challenge tomb.
There you go.
We just have to crawl up here. I'll tell you what, crawl up here. And how is she not all scarred up, knees all banged up?
Yeah,
and
we
stuff?
can't see too close, but yeah, you would think those. Oh yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah.
So this is where our
Pretty
friend
sure.
went in. This is where we'll call it a day. And that was a very small area that we did see these. Look at all the old. This was a community. People lived here.
Yeah, this is amazing. You certainly don't see architecture like this anymore. Not for less than billions and billions of dollars, or being built by Disney. Again, for billions of dollars.
Yes, right? Exactly. Billions and billions.
Well, thanks, Draconis Firebrand, and everybody else who didn't stop in to chat, but stopped in to hang out with us here on the Take20 morning show.
Absolutely. Hey guys, I'm J-Man Weird,
And I'm Kellen.
and we'll talk to you next time right here on Take 20 Plays a Game.
Have a great weekend.